The Titan submarine of Oceangate began its journey from the St. John port in Canada. The location where it was supposed to dive into the ocean is 700 kilometers away from St. John, in the North Atlantic Ocean, where the wreckage of the Titanic is also present at the same point in the depths of the cold water. The journey started on Saturday, the 17th of June, 2023, and according to the plan, the Titan was supposed to be submerged in the water the next day, Sunday, at 8 in the morning. Prior to the dive, a certain issue was noticed, despite which the decision was made to submerge it into the ocean, risking the lives of those on board. What was the issue, and why was this risk taken even though the problem was known? The journey, which had a total of 5 people, including Harnish Harding, the founder of Action Aviation, who had also traveled with Jeff Bezos in space. Dr. Stockton Rush, the CEO of Oceangate, was at number 2. This American company specializes in submersibles for ocean tourism. At number 3 was Paul Henry, who had previously visited the Titanic. He was an expert in shipwrecks and had extensive knowledge about the scattered parts of the Titanic. Finally, Pakistani business tycoons, Shahzada Dawood and his son Sulaiman, were also part of this submarine expedition. Before the dive on the 17th of June, Harnish Harding posted his final post on the internet, stating that their dive had been delayed due to inclement weather. They planned to dive once the weather improved tomorrow morning. These 5 individuals were fulfilling their passion and were going to see the remnants of the famous Titanic. Despite numerous attempts over the years to search for it after it sank in 1912, the search continued for many more years. However, due to the challenging conditions of the Atlantic Ocean, this task was not so easy. RMS Titanic was discovered on the ocean floor. Titanic had left behind so many unanswered questions that it was about time to search for answers. Several expeditions were organized, involving experts and researchers from different countries, to explore the Titanic shipwreck. Canadian filmmaker James Cameron conducted numerous dives to the wreckage in 1995, and then in 1997, the movie Titanic was released, which achieved unprecedented success. The movie created such a buzz that the dream of personally witnessing the Titanic wreckage became a reality for millions of people. It was no longer just a research endeavor. Tourists began visiting the site of the shipwreck. It is said that reaching the depths of the ocean is even more challenging than going to space, and the main reason is the immense water pressure. The Titanic shipwreck lies approximately 4 kilometers below the surface of the sea, which is nearly 5 times the height of the Burj Khalifa. To comprehend this depth, imagine the Burj Khalifa and understand that the Titanic wreckage is located almost 5 times deeper. At this depth, the water exerts a pressure of around 5,800 pounds per square inch. This pressure is so immense that it can crush an entire elephant onto just 1 square inch of its body. Now you can imagine how many square inches a submarine has and the tremendous pressure it experiences. Anyway, on Sunday, June 18, 2023 at noon, the submarine's journey began. Normally, it takes about 2 hours to reach the Titanic. However, after 1 hour and 45 minutes, the communication between the submarine and the waiting mothership, Polar Prince, was lost. If it takes 2 hours to reach the Titanic, then losing contact just 15 minutes before implies that the submarine must have been very close to the shipwreck. Reaching sunlight in such depth is impossible, and darkness prevails at all times. Cutting off wireless signals in such depths is a normal occurrence. Therefore, initially, this issue was not taken too seriously. The entire trip was supposed to be a total of 7 hours, returning from 12 noon to 7 in the evening. However, when 7 o'clock arrived and there was still no sign of the Titan returning, anxiety started to build among the crew aboard the mothership. The Canadian research vessel, Polar Prince, began the search for the Titanic. At 9 o'clock, after 40 minutes, they contacted the U.S. Coast Guard for help. The next day, on Monday, the U.S. and Canadian ships and planes initiated a proper search operation in the entire area. They continued their search not only on the surface of the sea, but also used sonar scanning to search underwater. The commercial vessels in that area were also ordered to keep a lookout. The search continued for the next 2 days, but there was no sign of the Titan. However, a glimmer of hope emerged on Wednesday, June 20th, at 6 in the morning when the search team heard some sounds from the depths of the water. These sounds were detected through underwater radars. Immediately, rows were sent in the direction of the sound, but once again, there was no news of the Titan. Now the fear of losing the Titan forever was increasing, as the submarine only had enough oxygen for 9 hours or up to 4 days, and 3 out of those 4 days had already passed. However, the search teams from the US, Canada, and France did not lose hope. On Thursday, June 21st, at noon, the ROV was sent near the wreckage of the Titanic. What they saw there was a truly heart-stopping sight. At 3:48 p.m., the ROV, which had reached near the wreckage of the coast, spotted a part of the Titan's hull just 1,600 feet away from the Titanic. The sight of the Titan's wreckage became headlines worldwide. This could only mean that the marine pressure was too much for the Titan to bear, and it ruptured in the depths of the sea. This news created a stir worldwide, and questions were raised about the safety of Oceangate. The CEO of Oceangate, Stockton Rush, who had lost his life in this incident, had stated in 2021 that he knew they had broken some rules while constructing the Titan because it was made of aviation-grade carbon fiber instead of steel. They wanted to bring some new innovations to this industry, which is why they used carbon fiber instead of steel. The Titan had also undergone a pressure test ranging from 5,000 to 10,000 psi before being launched, and it had passed. However, experts believe that there are various forces in the ocean that exert pressure on submarines, not only from water, but also from the waves created by the ocean. Additionally, it could have collided with a heavy rock or encountered other marine obstacles. Regardless, the carbon fiber used in the construction of the Titan was one reason for its destruction. Another reason was the presence of pre-existing cracks. In 2019, the Titan had taken a businessman named Carl Stanley on board, and during that journey, he heard the sound of cracking coming from the submarine's body. He said, "I was actually even able to drive this area by the sound of the cracking coming from the hull." At that time, he didn't pay much attention to the sound because he had complete trust in the CEO of Oceangate, who had designed the submarine himself. However, after this incident, he revealed to CNN that perhaps that sound was a warning that the Titan's body couldn't withstand the water pressure. If this is true, there is no doubt that cracks had already started forming in the Titan's body. In 2018, an executive from Oceangate had raised concerns about the carbon fiber body of the Titan. He stated that this issue would emerge seconds before the submarine would be submerged, and that turned out to be true. Experts say that it would have taken only 0.3 seconds for the Titan to rupture at the depth it was in. I hope you will like and share this video.